If you're watching this video, that means you are probably enrolled in Safety Management 4423 or EHSM 5163. These are the same classes for the most part. The EHSM 5163 is a graduate level class, but the graduate students will be covering the same information as the undergraduate students and vice versa. The only difference will be that the graduate students have to complete an additional assignment, and I'll talk more about that specifically to the graduate students before we're through. What I'm doing in this video is giving you an introduction to the class, giving you the information you'll need to get started in the class. And I've got a couple of things going on within my record window. I've got the syllabus over here on the right, then I've got a PowerPoint that I'll be clicking through over on the left. I will also be pulling in some other windows with some other information as we go through the course introduction. Dr. Doug Martin, I'm the professor. Most of you have had me in class before, but if you haven't and you would like to learn more about me, you're welcome to see the video that I've made, the Professor Bio video that's available on Blackboard. Also, you can contact me at any time if you ever have any questions or just want to visit. One of the most important things about this class and any online class is student engagement. You've got to be engaged, you've got to stay hooked up, and you've got to be disciplined to do the weekly assignments and get those weekly assignments done in a timely manner. I mentioned this up front, this issue of engagement. I mentioned this up front because I think this is the greatest challenge for this class. It's a challenging class already, but it's more challenging because it's online and it requires so much self-discipline on your part to stay on schedule. I'll provide you all of the materials that you need, all of the activities that you need to complete, but it's up to you to stay disciplined and get those assignments done in a timely manner. I'm going to talk more about the importance of staying on schedule as we go through the course introduction. Another thing that I want to mention up front is don't be shy about asking for help. If you have any questions, any difficulties, please contact me. Over here on the syllabus, you have all of my contact information. You have my email addresses, phone numbers, including my cell phone number. If you need to do a Zoom conference, if you have questions and you want to do a Zoom conference, there's a Zoom conference link that we can use to do face-to-face meetings. My office is on the second floor of the business building on the Tahlequah campus. If you have any questions and you're on campus, come on by my office. And here are my office hours, my official office hours, but I'm in the office most of the time. If you need to see me at a time other than my listed office hours, just make an appointment. And of course, you can contact me anytime by text or email or with a phone call. It is important to stay on schedule, as I've already alluded to, and I'll say more about that as we go along. Read the syllabus. I'm going to go through the syllabus, but not point by point. I'm going to hit some of the high points of the syllabus, some of the more important components of the syllabus during this course introduction. But you should read the syllabus on your own. And if you have any questions after you've gone through the syllabus, let me know, and I'll answer those questions. The class is a continuation of Safety Management 3423. At NSU, as most of you are aware, we have two industrial hygiene classes at the undergraduate level. We have 3423 and 4423. Hopefully you've already had 3423. 3423 is a prerequisite for this class. But if you haven't had 3423, it's still okay for you to be in the class, but it might require you to do some additional reading to get up to speed. The first unit, I'm going to be reviewing a lot of 3423 just very quickly. That might be enough to bring you up to speed, but you may have to do some additional reading on your own if you haven't already done 3423. Hopefully the graduate students in the class, you've already had at least one industrial hygiene class before taking this class. If not, just like for the undergraduates, you're going to need to do some additional reading probably to bring you up to speed. Now in this class, the focus is on work activities, the work environment, and conditions in the work environment that can result in a variety of diseases and/or physical disorders. That's a description of what we covered in 3423. That description still carries over to 4423. But in this class, we're going to take a more detailed focus on airborne hazards in the workplace, gases, vapors, particulates that can affect the worker's health. Along with that, we're going to focus on ventilation controls and respiratory protection in this class. About half of the class will deal with ventilation systems and respiratory protection systems. There will be 11 units in the course, and this is tentative, it could change. Each of the units will start with an overview video showing all the assignments to complete for that unit. And I know if you've had my classes before, this is boring to you. This is really more for those of you who haven't had my online classes before. But each unit, there will be an overview video that lists, do this, 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 and this to complete the unit. There could be a variety of assignments in each unit. There could be readings, there could be study guides to complete. There can be critical thinking activities. There can be practice problems. There is a larger quantitative component to this class than what we had in 3423. We're going to be doing more calculations in this class than what we did in 3423. Every unit will have at least one, usually multiple video lectures and/or video tutorials. I try to keep my online classes as close as possible to a real-world face-to-face class. Now, I don't just give you a workbook assignment and have you complete the workbook assignments. I actually teach. I lecture, and video lectures are a big part of the class. Each unit will end with a quiz. The quiz, I'll talk more about them here in a few minutes, but they're going to be based on anything that we do in that unit. Also, this is a 4,000 level class. I don't do it for all of my 4,000 level classes, but for most of my 4,000 level classes, I include a major project. The major project for this class is the development of an airborne hazard control program. More on that to come. Communication is very important in an online class. Check your email daily. Check your Blackboard announcements daily. If you see an email from me, I'm not just going to be asking you how the weather is. It's going to be related to something going on in the class. So don't ignore emails that you receive from me. Any emails related to the class. Every semester I have one student that misses something major because they weren't keeping up with their emails. Now, and you're not going to be getting emails from me every day. But if I do send you an email, it's something important, something for you to look at. So don't ignore those. And I know you get a ton of emails that are junk emails. But if it's from me, it's not going to be a junk email. It's going to be something related to this class, something that can in some way help you with your future career. Like I've said before, contact me via text or email if you need assistance, or you can call me. Now, if you do contact me after 10 p.m., if you send me an email at 10:30, I'm more than likely not going to respond until the next day, but I always respond within 12 hours. And if it's before 10 p.m., I'm probably going to respond within an hour or two. Again, communication's important. When you communicate with me, when you have a question for me, I think it's important for me to get back to you as soon as possible. There is also the potential for the Zoom meetings and office meetings if needed for this class. Again, we will be using Blackboard as our learning management system. We're going to use Blackboard to organize and make all of our course materials available. all materials except the textbook will be made available in Blackboard. Most everything within Blackboard, most everything is going to be accessed through the Learning Modules link. Let me go ahead and pull up another window here in case you're not familiar with Blackboard. And we've made some changes in Blackboard. When I say we, the College of Business and the university, they've changed the way Blackboard's laid out a little bit. You no longer have a link that says assignments. Where assignments used to be, now it says learning modules. Most everything for this class and all of my classes will be accessed through the learning modules link. Through the learning modules link, so far you have access to the syllabus for Safety Management 4423, the syllabus for the graduate level class. There's the video, there's my bio if you'd like to learn more about me. Here's information about the Airborne Hazard Control Program assignment. Then Unit 1. Within the Unit 1 folder will be all of the assignments, all of the activities that you'll need to complete for Unit 1. And as the semester goes along, I'll add more units, make more units available. We'll do Unit 1, then Unit 2 will be available. I'm not going to throw everything up there at one time. It's going to be available as we complete one unit. As the deadlines for the first unit have passed, then the Unit 2 materials will be available. But that's really all there is to it on Blackboard. The quizzes will all be through Blackboard. The final exam will be through Blackboard. Now there are some other links here that you can explore. You can go to the syllabus link. That's another way of accessing the syllabi. You can go to the Start Here link. That's another way of accessing information about the class. But really, the only link that you really need to worry about, the way I set up my classes, is the Learning Modules link. I put everything within the Learning Modules folder for the class. By the time the semester's over, there's going to be about 20 different files and folders within this particular link. Most of you are familiar with Blackboard, but if you're new to NSU, if you've never used Blackboard, you need any help, let me know. The textbook that we will be using is the same textbook that we use for Safety Management 3423. You do need this book to have success in the class. Now, if you can't afford the book, you could share with someone else. It is an expensive book. There's nothing wrong with sharing with someone else, but I do encourage you at some point, do encourage that you purchase this book at some point, because it's an excellent resource to have in your personal library if you're going to be working as a safety management professional. In addition to the textbook, there will be other reading materials that I provide to you through Blackboard throughout the semester. It says other reading material may be provided. Well, other reading material will be provided. Now, a lot of times the other reading material that I provide is optional. You don't have to read it. But occasionally there may be some reading material that is required. And if you're keeping up with the emails and the announcements and everything that's going on, you'll know if something's required or optional. Now, I'll clearly specify whether additional readings are required or optional. Yeah, I want to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. If I go too fast, you can always email me with your questions. But what I want to do now is talk a little bit about the different instructional methods and the graded activities that we're going to complete during the semester. Go ahead and fix my syllabus here. In Section 9 of the syllabus talks about the instructional methods. Section 10, the different types of activities that we're going to complete during the semester. But let's talk more specifically about some of these activities. You see here, email activity. That's the email assignment. The first graded activity that we'll have for the class all you need to do is send me an email using your NSU email address. The reason for this, make sure your email is working properly. This is worth 15 points. It's due by midnight on January 11th. 0 points if you miss the deadline. When it comes to email for this class, use your NSU email address for anything related to this class. If you use your personal email address, those emails could end up in my spam folder and I never see them. Also, another objective for this assignment, this is a way of checking attendance for online classes. Professors are required to report non-attending students. If I do not receive your email by midnight, January 11th, you will be reported as non-attending, and it could affect your financial aid. Now, this is the reason that we're required to do this. It's a university requirement when it comes to financial aid eligibility. So, take 2 minutes, send me an email, earn 15 points, then you don't have to worry about it. Another assignment that's easy and early in the semester, this would be it could be the second or third graded assignment. You do have a couple of weeks to get this one completed. But it's a personal Zoom conference. The reason for the personal Zoom conference is to make the class more personable. I want to get to know you. I want to catch up with you if you're a student that I've had in class before, find out what you've been up to. Are you still looking to work as a firefighter? Are you still thinking about working in the construction industry as a safety manager? And I want to know you. I want to know your goals. I think when you know me and I know you, that makes the communication work a little bit better. This personal Zoom conference needs to be completed on or before January 27th. Please see the syllabus for available dates and times. And I will also post the available dates and times as a separate link. Once you take a look at the available dates and times, email me your top 2 choices for the date and the time that you would like to do this personal Zoom conference. It only takes about 10 minutes. I've probably had once or twice that the Zoom conferences lasted more than 10 minutes, but usually it's 10 minutes. That's all it takes. Easy 50 points. But if you miss the deadline, there's no credit after the deadline is passed. One student last semester, it cost them a letter grade because they didn't do this assignment. They signed up for the Zoom conference, but they didn't make it for the Zoom conference. And so they lost 50 points, and that was enough to take their grade from an A to a B. So don't let that happen to you. Now, some of you are in both Safety Management 4423 and Safety Management 4513. If that's the case, you only need to do one Zoom conference. If you're in both of these classes, you only need to do one Zoom conference, and you will earn credit for both classes. You'll earn 50 points for both classes. Graduate students also need you to do this. I want to get to know you. I've never had you guys in class before. I want to get to know you, know your goals, and so on. So this applies to everyone in the class. A good portion of the class will be made up of video lectures. Again, each unit will include multiple video lectures. You will need to watch all video lectures for each unit, and you will need to watch them in order. They will be numbered, and this is the numbering system that I use. U1V1, that means Unit 1, Video 1, or the first video in Unit 1. As you're watching the video lectures, take notes. The lecture material covered on the unit quizzes. The lecture material will be covered on the unit quizzes. If you have good notes, you may use your notes when you are working on the unit quizzes. Reading assignments. Some reading assignments will be accompanied by study questions, some will not. Material contained in the reading assignments may be covered on the unit quizzes. Complete reading and study guide before attempting the quiz. You may use the completed study guide for the quiz. Now, usually what I do with the study guides, the questions on the quiz are taken from the study guide, or there may be some slight variation. But if you do the study guide questions, if you do a good job on the study guide questions, then the quiz is going to be easy for you. Same thing with the lectures. If you take good notes, the quizzes are going to be easy. 4423, this class, we have a lot more emphasis on the different quantitative methods used in industrial hygiene. We'll have several units that will cover some of the quantitative methods associated with industrial hygiene. Some examples: time-weighted average, threshold limit value of a mixture. We'll talk about the fan laws, and there'll be some calculations. We'll calculate capture velocity of a ventilation system. We'll calculate how much dilution error is necessary to reduce the concentration of a contaminant to a safe level. Just a few examples of the quantitative methods that we will be covering in this class. For each of the quantitative methods, I'll give you practice problems. There will be video tutorials that show you step by step how to solve the problems. You will need to do the practice problems in advance, and those practice problems will be the basis for multiple questions on the unit quiz. If you do the practice problems in advance, then when you see those questions on the unit quiz, then it's easy, no problem. Speaking of unit quizzes, over half of the points possible for the class will be earned through the unit quizzes. 550 points is what I anticipate being available through the unit quizzes. The quizzes will be based on study guide questions, practice problems, and material contained in video lectures. Quizzes will be timed. Once you open and start taking the quiz, you will have a specified amount of time to complete the quiz questions. You may use the answers from your completed study guide questions and practice problems. You may use lecture notes taken from the video lecture. PowerPoint files will not be available. You'll need to watch the video lectures and take notes. There will be a final exam that I use as a course review. It's an open book, open note exam. It will cover materials that you should be familiar with at the conclusion of the course. And it will be based on topics, concepts, and material covered throughout the semester. You will have approximately 1 week to work on the exam. It will be due by 3 p.m. on May 3rd. May 3rd is Wednesday of finals week. Then we have the Airborne Hazard Control Program, which will be a group project. You will be working with other students on this project. No more than 3 students in a group. There will be a paper that you will complete and a presentation that you will make. The instructions are attached to the syllabus. The materials resources, including video directions, will be found on Blackboard. Go ahead and bring that Blackboard screen back over here. This is the folder where you will find all of the information related to the Airborne Hazard Control Program. And I am going to be making a separate video with instructions. That's what I mean here when I say including video directions. I'm going to make one video just talking about this particular activity. So you'll know how to complete the activity and some of the other information that might make the activity a little bit easier. This assignment will be worth 100 points. Like I said earlier, we do have graduate students in the class. To earn graduate credit, they must complete additional assignments. The additional assignment that you will complete if you're a graduate student, you will read the book, The Dose Makes the Poison, and you'll do a review of the book. Instructions for this assignment are attached to the EHSM 1563 syllabus. Again, if you're an undergraduate enrolled in Safety Management 4423, you do not have to complete this assignment. This is only for the graduate students. Let me go ahead and here is here are the directions for the Dose Makes the Poison book review, this graduate assignment. Here are directions that you might want to go ahead and look through for the Airborne Hazard Control Program. And I will be providing you more information shortly. But if you want to go ahead and take a quick look at the assignment and what you'll be doing for the assignment, you'll see that on page 13. And then we'll have you sign up for a presentation at some point. Some additional tips, some additional information. Keep up with the due dates. As most of you know, I'm pretty lenient on due dates for many of our assignments, but there are some exceptions. Here are the exceptions. You can't be late on the email assignment. You can't be late on the Zoom conference. If you're late on the email assignment or the Zoom conference, you don't receive any credit. Also, the Airborne Hazard Control paper, you need to meet that deadline, which is April 7th. The Airborne Hazard Control presentation, meet that deadline also, and the final exam. But as far as the other assignments go, try to stay on schedule. Try not to get too far behind. If you're a day or two late on a unit quiz, that's no big deal. I'm not going to deduct any points, but you need to stay as best you can on schedule and not let yourself get too far behind. I had one student last semester. He had about 8 assignments that he did during the last week of the semester. When I say last week, during finals week, he did like 8 assignments. So that was no fun for him to complete all those assignments in such a short period of time. Again, manage your time, be disciplined, try to stay on schedule as well as you possibly can. We are required to report midterm grades. Students who have not completed the assignments and do not appear to be making satisfactory progress toward course completion will receive an F for their midterm grade. Now keep in mind, midterm grades are not permanent and do not affect your GPA. The midterm grades are just a service we provide to let you know where you're at in the class at midterm. But if you haven't done any of the assignments, or if you've only done 1 or 2 assignments at midterm, you're probably going to see an F reported for your midterm grade. Now you could still end up earning an A for the class, but at midterm, because you haven't submitted any assignments, you're going to see an F. Another thing to consider for some students, as 1 out of 100 students may end up being withdrawn from the class. Professors may drop students from their classes. It's called an administrative withdrawal. It's used when students are not completing assignments in a timely manner. And here are a couple of examples. Say we have a student who after 8 weeks of the semester has not completed any assignments, and they've not contacted me and say, I had a concussion, I've been out of commission, I haven't been able to work on anything. Now if you contact me and let me know what's going on, I'm not going to drop you from the class. But if you go 8 weeks and you've not completed any assignments, I will send you an email first warning you that, hey, what's going on? You need to get to work in the class, or I'm going to drop you from the class. I'm going to exercise the administrative withdrawal procedure. And that's really better for that student. It's better for me to administratively withdraw them than for them to receive an F at the end of the semester because they didn't do any work. But that's one example, a student who after 8 weeks has not completed any assignments. Another example would be a student who, maybe they did real good the first 2 or 3 weeks, but then they've had multiple weeks where they've not submitted any assignments. I'm also going to email that student and see what's going on, encourage them to get engaged and get back to work on the assignments, or they could be dropped from the class. Get in there, stay engaged, stay hooked up, and do the assignments. Do your best to keep up with the schedule. A late assignment every now and then is not a problem. Show me that you're engaged and working to complete the required activities, and you will not be dropped from the class. But if you just fall off the radar, if there's no sign of life coming from you, if you've not communicated with me, if you're not responding to my emails, then you'll probably be dropped from the class. When it comes to grades, final grades will be assigned according to the scale found in the syllabus. 90% to 100% is an A, 80 to 89 is B, and so on. The standard grading scale that you see in a lot of your classes. Now, one thing about the different learning outcome assessment activities, this is for the graduate students. There's 150 points for the Dose Makes the Poison book review. That's not the undergraduate total. The undergraduate total will be 965 minus 150. And I do have separate syllabi, or I do have a separate syllabus for the undergraduate students. Go ahead and bring this back up here. Here's the syllabus for undergraduates. And you'll see that the total points possible is 815. Now keep in mind that is subject to change. That is subject to change. Graded activities may be added or deleted. Point values for assignments may change. Now, if there's a change in point values for assignments, it'll probably be the unit quizzes. Right now, I have it set up so every unit quiz is worth 50 points. But we might have one unit quiz that's worth 65. We might have another unit quiz that's worth 45. So at the end of the semester, the total points possible may vary slightly from what you see here on the screen. You've heard me say this before, most of you. I know we tend to be grade obsessed. It's all about the grades. I encourage you to focus on the learning. Focus on learning. Focus on acquiring the knowledge that you will need to work as a safety professional. And if that's your focus, if you're doing all you can to learn everything you can, then the grades are going to take care of themselves. You don't have to worry about the grades. We usually have that backwards. We focus on the grades. Well, how many points do I need for a B? How many points do I need for an A? And that's our motivation. Well, that's a screwed up motivation. If we really care about learning, we don't care about the grades. We care about learning as much as we can. And if we care about optimizing our learning opportunities, then the grades are not going to be a problem for you. So keep that in mind as you go through this class and other classes. Your objective should be learning as much as you can. Some other learning opportunities. I mentioned this last semester, and some of you are thinking, he said that last semester we didn't do any field trips. Well, we didn't do any field trips last semester because in addition to my online classes, I had face-to-face classes every day of the week last semester. I had face-to-face classes Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So that made field trips very difficult, and it made it impossible to do field trips, really. But this semester, my schedule is a lot more. There's a lot more flexibility in it. And if we are able to do some field trips, they will be on Thursdays. I don't have any classes on Thursday, any face-to-face classes on Thursday, which that might be a good day to do field trips. But if that happens, I'll let you know. I'll send out emails. I'll find out who might be interested in visiting a manufacturing facility, a sawmill, a construction site. We visited a lot of different types of facilities over the years on our field trips. We probably won't do any Saturday workshops this semester, but there is that possibility. Also, I'm going to be talking more about the American Society of Safety Professionals and opportunities for you to be involved with that organization and learn through your involvement in that organization. Coming close to the end here for this course introduction, let me just review what you need to do as far as course introduction assignments. send me an email using your NSU email account. Log into Blackboard and look at course materials that are available at this time. Read the syllabus in more detail and sign the syllabus acknowledgement form. This is another professor does this in the college, and now everybody's required to do this. I don't necessarily think it's necessary, but after you read your syllabus, click on this link, Syllabus Acknowledgement. Go ahead and pull this over here where you can see it a little better. Go to Syllabus, Syllabus Acknowledgement, and begin. And all you'll need to do is answer this question by signing your name. By typing your name below, you acknowledge you have read the syllabus, have reviewed the relevant sections of Blackboard, understand the course policies and procedures outlined in the syllabus, and are ready to participate in the course. So be sure and do that during the first week of classes. Sign up for the one-on-one Zoom conference. Now, you could do this in your email assignment. To complete the email assignment, before you complete that email assignment, you go back and look at these dates. You choose a date and a time and email me your date and time that you want to do the personal Zoom conference, and that can count as your email assignment. You'll get 15 points for the email assignment. Then when you do the Zoom conference, you will earn another 50 points for that. Now, when we do the Zoom conference, you'll use this Zoom link. So if you sign up for 6:30 p.m. on January 12th at 6:25, click on this Zoom link. Zoom will open up. You will need to be on a computer with the Zoom app. Well, it's waiting for me to start the meeting because I'm the host. But that's basically what you're going to do when it's time for you to do your personal Zoom conference. Let's see. Unit 1 material will be available on January 12th. So the first 3 days of the semester, we're just doing this course introduction, these course introduction activities. But on January 12th, the Unit 1 material will be available. There will be video lectures. There will be a unit quiz. And sometimes the video lectures are available before the unit quiz, but there will be assignments that you can get to work on for Unit 1 on January 12th. All right. I am here to help you prepare for your career. If you ever have any questions, ever need any assistance, please let me know. Keep in mind the material that we cover in this class and the activities that I have you complete in this class, very applicable to what you will be doing as a safety manager. Again, I was a safety manager for 20 years. I know what you will be doing. I design my classes to better prepare you for those types of activities. So keep that in mind as we work through the semester. All right, I think that's it. I'm running out of steam here. This is my first course introduction video of the semester. I'm already losing my voice. But again, I'm here to help. Let me know if I can ever be of any assistance.